Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this cute little card using the Be My Valentine bundle. This bundle comes not only with a lovely little stamp set and coordinating punch, but it's part of a larger suite, so it's got all kinds of coordinating items. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how I got started. Okay, I'm going to start with the stamping for this project, and I'm going to start with my sentiment that I've punched out with the 2-inch circle punch. These are photopolymer stamps, so I can easily stamp my sentiment where I want it since I can see through this. And I'm going to stamp it right here in the upper right-hand corner of the circle. And then I'm going to bring in another piece of basic white and my bee builder punch. Now I like to look at the orientation of the punch so that I know where to stamp before I start. It allows me to simply slip things in easier and punch without waste. So I'm going to bring the wings in, and I'm going to start on the left hand side since this is on the right and there's a little heart here. I'm going to stamp once and then slide over and stamp a second time. And as you can see, this will allow me to bring my punch in and punch those wings out without any waste. I've got my 2 wings done, and I'm ready to bring in the antennae. And once again, I want to look at the orientation of this little heart punch because that's going to be my antennae. And I'm going to turn this, ink it up, stamp, and then slide it in. And at this point, it is on the same side of my paper, so I will get some waste, but that's okay since I'm already done with the wings. I've got that done, and I'm ready to bring in my Daffodil Delight. And once again, I'm going to look at that image so I can ink up the correct side. And I'm going to stamp on the left here. Turn this around so that it's in the right orientation and stamp. I'm going to hold that to the count of 3 so that I get nice coverage. And then I'm going to slip this into my punch, line it up, and punch. And of course, if you didn't get enough coverage and that bothers you, you can use your Stampin' Right marker and simply color it in. I've got my little bee in the orientation I wanted, and I'm going to bring in his little face here. I want a little smiley, and I am going to simply place that right there in the center. I like to do the face after I punch so that it allows me to place it where I'd like it. For the inside of my car, I'm just going to add a little pop of color with my heart. I'm going to ink that up in this Sweet Sorbet and stamp in the upper left and bottom right hand corners so that I've got a little color on my inside panel. I've got all my stamping done and I'm ready to assemble. Okay, for the assembly, I've also punched out one of our decorative circle punches using the Sweet Sorbet, because I'm going to use that as a mat. So I'm going to adhere this down quickly. Right in the center. I love the little whimsical border on this. Then I'm going to bring in my base, and I'm going to fold that on the score line. And I'm going to bring in my 2 pieces of designer series paper and place them onto the card front. I'm going to simply adhere those down flat. You're going to love this paper. It has such cute little prints on both sides. And for this project, I'm using the neutral print so that I can highlight this fun little bee. I'm going to place that down and then bring in my honey jar. And let's see, I'm going to place this like so. So I'm going to add some adhesive to the back. And set that in place like so. Once I have that in place, I'm ready to bring in my sentiment. But before I do that, I want to build my bee. Now for my bee, I'm going to place a little bit of adhesive on both sides of the wing and onto the antennae. I'm doing that on the point of the heart because I'm simply going to place those down under my bee. And you can add the wings as you like it. I'm going to add it so that that stamped image is touching the bee's side, and place him here also. That gives me his two little wings. And then I'm going to bring in this itty bitty little antennae and adhere that to his head. And you can do this as desired. I'm going to shorten those antennae. And once I've got that done, I'm ready to bring in my sentiment panel. Now I want to just kind of see where I want to put this before I start adhering. So I like that right here in the center, and I'm ready to adhere down my sentiment panel. It's what my son calls a dry fit when he's working with his woodworking. You just want to kind of see where you're headed. And for my little bee, I'm going to flip him over and bring in some dimensionals. Now these dimensionals will also help hold the different parts in place so they're nice and secure. There we go. I'm going to remove the backings, flip him over, and add him right there to the sentiment panel. And of course we want a little shimmer and shine, and so I'm going to bring in our hearts and flowers embellishments that coordinate with this suite, and I'm going to pick up some of the images. I'm going to start with the flower, and I'm going to set this, let's see, right here in the corner. And then I think I'm going to take one of the little hearts and place it right here next to the sentiment. And last but not least, I think I'm going to take one of the red flowers and add it down here under the little bumblebee, like so. And of course you can scatter more if desired. Then I'm ready to add my panel to the inside. Now if you prefer, you can save adhering that panel in until you've decided on your sentiment and you've signed it, making it quick and easy to add afterwards. I hope you've enjoyed this project using the Be Mine suite of products found in our mini catalog. And of course, if you'd like any of these items, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.